I'm Francois Wessels, and we're back with the third episode of our series on the importance of being seen. In this episode, we'll be discussing healing through being seen, therapy and relationships, how being seen plays a role in those. Now, if you think back on times when you struggled, perhaps in grief, stress, self-doubt, you might recall that the presence of someone who really listened to you made all the difference. In counselling and psychology, this is a well-known phenomenon. Being heard and acknowledged by a caring witness can be deeply healing. In fact, trauma specialists say recovery can take place only within the context of relationships. It cannot occur in isolation. When we're hurting, telling our story to someone who truly hears us, who says, I believe you, I see how hard this has been, is often the first step out of the pain. Consider the experience of a woman, and I'll call her Jesslyn. As a child, Jesslyn endured abuse, but when she bravely told her mother, the reality was denied. Her mother refused to acknowledge what happened. This denial left Jesslyn feeling completely invisible and ashamed, as if her pain didn't matter or wasn't even real. Years later, Jesslyn ended up in therapy. There, for the first time, someone looked her in the eye and said, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I see how much it hurt you, and I believe you. In that moment, her healing truly began. The shame and self-doubt she'd been carrying started to ease. Why? Because when her suffering was finally witnessed and validated by another human being, it became more real and less isolating for her. Instead of an untold, festering secret, the story became one that had social existence and meaning. Someone saw a truth, and in doing so, affirmed her dignity. Therapists often describe their role as bearing witness to clients' lives. This means more than just listening to words. It means truly seeing the person before you, in their pain and in strength, without judgment. One therapist noted that when a client finally feels, I'm not alone with this anymore, you really see me, that moment can be a turning point. The client moves from feeling stuck and alone with a burden to feeling supported and hopeful. Indeed, in narrative therapy, a therapeutic approach that explicitly uses witnessing, there's a practice called the outsider witness ceremony. A person shares their story in the presence of chosen witnesses, who then reflect back what they heard, focusing on the storyteller's values and strengths. This process challenges the isolating effects of problems. And it does so by surrounding the person with acknowledgement. In one account, a 13-year-old girl named Georgie told of her recovery from a traumatic car accident, while her mother listened as a witness. When the mother reflected back to Georgie how proud she was of her daughter's courage, Georgie's face lit up. Being witnessed in this way made a difference. It reduced her isolation and sense of worry, and the story of her determination grew richer. In other words, Georgie began to see herself as brave, and resilient because someone she loved saw her that way too. Her identity shifted from victim to survivor, with a story of strength, all through the power of compassionate witnessing. Even outside of therapy, we can feel this. Think of a time a friend really listened to you, or a mentor acknowledged your potential. It's energizing. One reason is that our sense of self is actually shaped also by others. Psychologists talk about the looking glass self, the idea that we come to know ourselves partly through how we think others see us. When others reflect back a positive image, I see you as capable, I see you as worthy, it helps those qualities take root in us. We internalize that encouraging gaze. This is why feedback and validation from others can spark personal growth, and why lack of acknowledgement can be so devastating. We also refer to mirroring. What do others experience in the way that we encounter them? Metaphorically speaking, what do they see in our eyes when we encounter them? Brokenness or healing? Not being seen can make someone question their own reality or worth. Sadly, many people have experienced this kind of invisibility, whether it's a child whose talents no one notices, or an adult in a relationship where they feel emotionally ignored. The good news is, even small acts of witnessing can begin to heal these wounds. Simply telling our stories and having them truly heard by a caring person, by a caring community, can break the spell of isolation and shame. It serves as a mirror that reflects our dignity and strength back to us, much like the mother's gaze did in infancy. We can do this for each other in everyday life. You don't have to be a therapist. You can be a friend who says, I know you're struggling. I want you to know, I see how strong you're being. I'm here with you. You don't have to have answers. You don't have to be able to fix. Seeing, witnessing, that already makes the change. Often we can't fix someone's pain, but we validate it, and that alone can be profoundly relieving. As trauma expert Judith Herman put it, recovery from trauma requires reconnection, reclaiming a sense of community, being seen. Or as researcher Brené Brown simply says, shame cannot survive being spoken and met with empathy. When someone in pain hears, I see you, and I'm not turning away, the loneliness of that pain diminishes. In our next talk, we'll explore I see you from a cultural and spiritual wisdom perspective. Until then.